So, ladies and gentlemen, today, 25th April 2025, the house of a famous terrorist commander has been razed to the ground by the Indian Army in Anantnag, Jammu and Kashmir. You are seeing the reports, they're coming out. And as we know, on 22nd, this ghastly attack happened in Pahalgam on innocent tourists by the radical Islamists from Pakistan who came and asked about their religion, and whenever they found somebody was a Hindu, they were their pants were opened and they were brutally killed, and their wives or maybe some other female members, they were also left. Okay, so now on 22nd, when this happened, I made a video, if you remember, where I said that from today, 25th February of 25th April 2025, which is Friday today, Modi government will be in action, and Indus Water Treaty has been cancelled, and Pakistani citizens within India who have Indian visas, they have been given 48 hours to leave. This has happened already 1 2 days back, and today, in my knowledge, the home minister is having a large meeting with all the chief ministers, where he has said that you need to identify all the Pakistani nationals in your state, and that they will be sent back to their country either by choice or by force. Okay, so therefore now the action begins, and as I said in that video, for after 25th, the other 2 days are 27th and 28th. So you can expect, like, after day after tomorrow and also 28th, there will be some massive action which will be taken. Certainly it will be taken without a doubt. And the best part, as I said, from 1st of May, more and more action will be taken. Now, I have seen the horoscopes of Prime Minister Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah. So regarding this, I had already said that from 17th September 2024 last year till 13th April this year, Prime Minister Modi has a fantastic period. And you can see that from that period, which is his birthday, 17th September till 13th April, we have seen repeatedly BJP has secured major victories, like in Haryana elections, Maharashtra, then New Delhi also. And we also saw BJP pass the immigration bill and the Waqf amendment bill after a lot of deliberation and after a lot of stress. So therefore, after 13th April, you would have seen started seeing reports of law and order situation degrading in India. Like, for example, from 13th, if you see the news, you will see situation started getting worse in Murshidabad in West Bengal, and there was a lot of violence. Okay, and many Hindus were driven out from their places, and they were staying in West Bengal like a refugee, exactly like the Kashmiri Pandits. Okay, and now what has happened is, on 22nd we saw this attack has happened. So I already predicted that from 13th April to 24th of June, it's not a good period. So I would still request. I mean, I've said this for the 10th time, because I want to make more and more people aware that do not go to sensitive areas, border areas. This the objective of telling this is not to claim credit that I said this and that happened, because what I was shocked was, I've seen so many people commenting that, oh, they watched my video or some other astrologer's video, where that astrologer had also warned, not just one or not just me, many other astrologers had warned that this period will not be good. So there are people, like today morning, one lady messaged me that she was supposed to visit Kashmir during this period, but because she saw my video, she canceled the visit. Okay, now again, that's very good to know that somebody's life has been saved by my effort or somebody else's effort, but that's not important. Important is that now, if you know, like many people have asked me, oh, I want to go to Vaishno Devi, I want to go here, I want to go there. So I would still say that please exercise caution, and if you have to go to a border state, please be very careful, because the time till 24th of June is not good, and there could be escalation, and there will be escalation, and there could be a full-fledged war also, in my opinion. So therefore, you need to be very careful. But at the end, I can tell you something, that from today, which is 25th of April 2025, Prime Minister Modi will be very, very, very lethal. Nobody, no perpetrator will be spared. Nobody who is responsible directly or indirectly for this conflict should be spared, and they will not be spared. Mark my words, there will be very, very, very strong retaliation from India side from today itself, 25th April 2025. So now, on a good side or a bad side, again, when there is action, there will be retaliation. So there can be further problems. So again, I am repeating for the 11th time that if you plan to go to any sensitive area, please do not go now, go after 25th. From the morning of 25th of June, you can go to these places, and especially also within your country, within your state in India, if there is a sensitive area where there is a history of communal clashes, then please do not go there. Okay, please exercise your discretionary power, and if required, go there, but come back immediately, and please be on the safe side, because now Prime Minister Modi's chart says that he will retaliate, and of course, he does not retaliate himself. He will do it through the armed forces. So, therefore, you can expect that this conflict will escalate. And I guess Pakistan has also said that temporarily they are also suspending the Shimla agreement, which means the line of control has become null and void by default. And if you go by facts, when Pakistan had invaded Kargil, so by that, by any means, by default, they had violated the Shimla agreement. So the Shimla agreement was violated the day the incursion in Kargil happened, right? So that, anyways, has no relevance. But now, 2 days back, Prime Minister Modi had also given a speech in Hindi, and also he said in English, this was for all the Western nations, that we are going to take revenge and you can do whatever you want. We don't need your support. If you support us, we are very happy. I'm hearing that there are reports of some support from Israel, especially, and from US also, but especially from Israel. So thank you, government of Israel, and all the Israelis who have profusely supported us in this very difficult period. So my thanks to all the Jews and all the Israelis, especially, who have supported. I've seen a lot of support in LinkedIn, and also a lot of support in Instagram. Also, not so much in YouTube, but in these two platforms I've seen. So therefore, if you are thinking that, oh no, nothing will happen, it will just be one small thing. No, it will not be like that. It will be much bigger. I'm not saying that there will be nuclear war and both the countries will be destroyed. I'm not saying that, but anything can happen, because now, since the Shimla agreement has been put to hold by Pakistan, which again, ideally has no meaning, because you have already done this in Kargil. So the LOC has become null and void. So that means the Indian Army can enter LOC, or it could be done through the other side also, and then there will be retaliation. Okay, so we have seen, like, INS Vikrant has been deployed in the Arabian Sea. So many things are happening. There are drills which are happening from the Indian Air Force. The head of the Indian Army has reached Kashmir today. So therefore, a lot of things are happening. You need to be careful during these periods till 24th of June. And worst case, if the war escalates, there could be serious action in the Pakistan occupied Kashmir. And after 24th of June, which means from the morning of 24th, 25th, around, preferably 25th, there could be some action which happens, and India might gain some territory. Of course, I'm not making a definite prediction, but after 25th June, if the war continues till then, after that, India can literally gain something. Okay, when I say gain, means it is not like killing some terrorist, or killing some Pakistani soldiers. I'm not saying that. When I say gain, I mean literally India might gain some territory. India might gain real estate. Okay, especially after 25th, but it can happen before also. But that's not important. Important is for you and me to understand that these periods are very difficult. They are very troublesome, and especially for Home Minister Amit Shah, I see from 28th of May onwards, also the period is much more difficult. So, in case uh, the war continues after 28th of May, which is very likely, because we have seen what happens. Like, if we have seen in case of Ukraine war, the war has continued for how many, 3.5 years maybe, and the war does not seem to end, right? President Trump said, oh yes, I'll end the war in, like, one day, but it's been like how many, around 4 or 5 months since he has taken office, right? 4 months, I guess. but he has not been able to stop the war, or whatever the reason could be. But at the end of the day, wars might take time. So if the war continues after 28th of May, there could be further casualties and difficulties from India's side. But nonetheless, this period is bad for the Modi Shah government, but it is not that bad that India will lose, or something very bad will happen. Now, there could be things could get worse in India. Like we saw there were a lot of protests on the Waqf Amendment bill also, and also in my opinion, in my knowledge, sorry, on May, I guess, I don't know the date. There is hearing in the Supreme Court on the Waqf Amendment bill, from side of the from in Indian side, government side, and from the opposition side, of course. Not literally the opposition, but those who have filed the petition against this, where many other MPs are involved, like Abhishek Manu Singhvi, and Mr. Kapil Sibbal is involved. Also, they are the prominent lawyers, and they are also MPs in the opposition, I guess. So therefore, you can see that the period is becoming more and more difficult for Modi government, and this difficulty will continue for next 2 months. So today is 25th. So from 24th, 25th of June, so 24th, 5th May, and then June, 2 more months, the difficulties will continue. Okay. So in May, I feel there will be more action. There will be decisive action in the month of May, because the days in May are much better for Prime Minister Modi and also for Amit Shah. Right. So therefore, wherever you are, stay safe. And many of you have asked me questions. Oh, I am going to I'm going to this state, that state. Well, please understand, no, you cannot just do like, oh, you give me a random day and you ask, oh, I'm going to this place in India, this will happen. So I give a general advisory. So you need to understand, like, advisories are very general. So if the place where you are going has history of trouble, or violence, Hindu Muslim violence, ethnic violence, or caste violence, religious violence, whatever, then you need to exercise caution. But many of you have also told me that, oh, you have booked ticket to this place, what should you do? Sir, please tell us, what should I do? Well, I can't do that. I can only tell you, at the end, it is your duty, it is your job, it is your life, you have to decide. Okay. So therefore, please maintain caution wherever you are going, even if the war does not escalate and something happens, but still there could be other problems. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Maybe it is this situation which escalates into a full scale war or a longer war, or there could be something else which goes on. All right. So therefore, either ways, it is this war or the Waqf Amendment bill or the protests or whatever, like government versus Supreme Court, whatever it is, like, there are problems which are going on, and they will persist for the next 2 months. Okay. So in such a situation, it is imperative that you maintain your calm, you maintain caution, and you spread awareness, because there are many people around you, maybe in your home, in your friend circle, in your company, who are trying to whitewash this attack. They are trying to say, oh, what is that famous thing? Yeah, terrorism has no religion after all. It is not, it's just a killing, like Al Jazeera and what is that? BBC, Washington Post, New York Times, New York Post, all these media outlets in the West, especially, and newspapers in India also, right? I don't want to take names, but there are, who have been trying to say, oh, these were, gunmen who have come to, Indian administered Kashmir, and they have, done this, and there was one politician who also said, that, oh, there was there's anger against, the Muslims, and that is why this has happened. All right. So you will see people in your family, in your friend circle, and in your company, they will try to justify all this, and they will try to whitewash. So step one is they will be silent. Step two is they will be further silent. Step three is they will be dead silent. Okay. And step four is they will start saying, oh, but terrorism has nothing to do with religion. Oh, really? If it has nothing to do with religion, then why did they ask you if you are Hindu? Why? Can you answer this question? If not, then shut your mouth, because you know the answer and you are pretending you don't know, right? So that is not correct. We know the terrorists were from which religion. and what was their intention. Because when there were other tourists who said, oh, I'm Muslim, so they were spared. Okay, so it is not that you are a tourist and that is why you are killed. Of course, that is a larger agenda, that kill the tourists so that nobody comes and nobody, yeah, so that there is unemployment. And if there is this saying, right, khali dimag shaitan ka ghar, right, idle mind is a devil's workshop. So more your mind is idle, more the financial problems, no more your tendency is to go towards terrorism, right? For the youth, Kashmiri youth especially. So therefore, you will find people in your circles who are trying to dismiss this terror attack as something like, very generic, and something about loss of humanity and all this nonsense. Okay, so when you meet these people, you have to call them out. I'm not saying that punch them in their face, but you have to respectfully tell them that what you are saying is not correct. This is a clear attack on the Hindus by one particular community, whichever country they may be. That's not important. Okay, but it is done to the Hindus. This is something you have to categorically point out, because I am seeing that many people are trying to whitewash this by saying, oh yes, this happened, that happened, but it is not like that. Okay, and of course, along with this, the opposition of our country, they, in my opinion, they have raised some valid points. For example, like, who should take responsibility for this? I have already posted in my Instagram page that yes, the Prime Minister and the Home Minister, they should take responsibility for this. Okay, but again, that is important, but at the same time, you cannot whitewash this as, oh, this is, intelligence failure and all this. That is correct, 100%. No, there are reports which clearly suggest that there is intelligence failure, and there is no doubt. And whoever is responsible for this, there should be there should be accountability. Like, if there was a military officer who removed the military from that place, why did that person remove? There should be some accountability, okay, at the ground level. Otherwise, what will happen is, today you will attack Pakistan, tomorrow again something will happen. And especially when the army chief Asif Munir, he had already made a statement about saying, oh, how, we are different from the Hindus. That speech also, if you see, it was made, I think, after 13th of April. Okay, so see, how crazy accurate astrology is. How beautifully we can predict, what happens. Everything was done after 13th of April. All right, of course, the planning must have been done from long time back. So, in my opinion, it is a failure of the intelligence agencies, because they should have been prepared after this speech is being made. And there, this person explicitly mentioned about Kashmir and Kashmiris and Hindus. So then there should have been. Now again, you can play this game, like blame game, but there should be some accountability. So this is where I think the opposition is raising some valid points. But I also don't like this idea where you are just dismissing this. Oh, it is, the aim of the terrorists was to create, religious rifts in India. Well, there is always religious rift, okay, from the past 100 years. If you go back to 1913, 1920, 1930, 1940s, this Hindu-Muslim conflict has always been there. And this time also, it was not an exception, like opening their pants and checking if the what is that called in Urdu, khatna, right? If the khatna has happened, and and then if it has happened, read the kalma first, then check if there is khatna, and if that is done, then leave the person. All right, so such ghastly nonsense has happened, and you cannot dismiss this. You cannot dismiss this in the name of attack on tourists, or attack on humanity or something like that. All right, everybody knows what you are doing. So when you see these people around you, you need to call their bullshit out. You need to call their nonsense out. You cannot just let these people slide away with all this. Okay, now I'm not saying that go and speak badly to them, but you have to say that if in public there are discussions, and if there are 10 people and 9 of them are saying this is attack on humanity and not on Hindus, you have to tell them, my dear sir, even if you are alone, you have to tell them that no, this is not just an attack on tourists, because the tourists were checked, their religion was checked, their private parts were checked. Okay, it is not just about tourism, which it is correct that earlier they would attack the military forces, but now they have started attacking tourists also. And I already pointed out the reason for that. But you cannot just dismiss it like that. Okay, everybody knows who has done it, everybody knows why they have done it, everybody knows what they aim by what they aim to get by doing all this. Okay, so therefore, uh, let us see what the government does. So in my opinion, there will be strict action, further action. So therefore, please take care and please prepare for the wars. All right, thank you so much. My prayers to those who have lost their lives. And yes, in case you need any further inquiry or you want me to make any other video, then please let me know down in the comments. I will try my best to make a video on it. All right, thank you so much. Please take care. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.